Webull stock closed Thursday at $14.67, up 26 cents on the day, or about 1.3%. It wasn't the most explosive move we've seen this summer, but it was meaningful in the context of what's been happening with Webull lately. The stock spent the session trading between $14.29 on the low and $15.56 on the high before settling near the middle of that range. That price action says a lot about where we are, consolidation, but with buyers clearly willing to step in as the company continues to deliver results and new catalysts. So, what's behind Thursday's resilience? The biggest factor is still the company's second quarter earnings. Webull reported revenue of $131.5 million, which was up 46% year-over-year and well ahead of expectations. That's not just strong growth, it's acceleration. Trading-related revenue surged even more, climbing 63% compared to last year. And customer assets on the platform swelled to nearly $16 billion, an all-time record for Webull. Profitability is also now a trend rather than a one-off. The company delivered its third straight quarter of operating profits, proving that its business model is maturing. For a fintech in such a competitive space, that consistency is key. Many investors were waiting to see whether Webull could not only hit profitability but sustain it. 3 quarters in a row provides convincing evidence. User growth continues to support the top line. Funded accounts grew nearly 9% year-over-year to more than 4.7 million, while registered users climbed to almost 25 million, an 18% increase. Equity notional volume was up 58%, and options contracts rose 8%. All of these metrics point in the same direction. Engagement is rising, deposits are increasing, and users are doing more on the platform. Now, let's layer in the crypto narrative. Webull recently simplified its US crypto trading by integrating Webull Pay directly into the main trading app. That means users can move seamlessly between stocks, options, ETFs, and digital assets without leaving the platform. This might sound like a small change, but it's the kind of user experience improvement that can boost engagement and retention. Investors want convenience, and having everything under one roof is a big deal. On top of that, Webull expanded crypto trading into Brazil earlier this year and has now launched in Australia as well. Thanks to a partnership with Coinbase Prime, users in Australia can access more than 240 cryptocurrencies. This is part of a broader global strategy. Webull is no longer just a US broker. It's positioning itself as an international fintech, and every new market adds both diversification and credibility. So Thursday's modest gain of 26 cents should be viewed in light of these powerful fundamentals. The market is starting to price in that Webull has staying power. It isn't just a trading app chasing users anymore. It's a profitable, scaling business with clear momentum. That said, investors should remain balanced. Not everything is risk-free. Analysts have pointed out that while Webull's Q2 performance was outstanding, sustainability still needs to be proven over the long run. Quarter-to-quarter swings in trading volumes can create volatility in results. And competition is fierce, with Robinhood, Fidelity, Schwab, and Coinbase all jostling for the same pool of customers. Regulatory uncertainty, particularly around crypto, is another wild card that could affect sentiment. Still, there's a reason analysts have upgraded Webull to a buy. Accelerating revenues, rising deposits, and improved monetization per user are exactly the trends that long-term investors want to see. Pair that with a $1 billion standby equity facility, basically a war chest for growth initiatives, and you get a company with both the fundamentals and the resources to push ahead. From a technical perspective, Thursday's close at $14.67 puts Webull right in the middle of its recent range. Support is holding around 14.25 to 14.5, while resistance sits in the $15.5 to $16 area. A break above 16 on strong volume could set the stage for a run towards 17 or even 18 in the short term. On the downside, if support breaks, the stock could revisit the low 14 range. For now, consolidation after strong earnings looks constructive. Investor sentiment is also shifting. A few months ago, the conversation was dominated by skepticism. Could Webull really sustain profitability? Was its growth model different enough from Robinhood's to stand out? Now, with 3 quarters of profits, record user assets, and new product launches, the tone has changed. Retail traders are openly talking about $20 as a near-term target and even $50 in the medium term. That may sound optimistic, but sentiment itself can be a driver of price action, especially in momentum names like Webull. Looking forward, the catalysts remain clear. The integration of Webull Pay in the US should start to show up in crypto trading volumes in the second half of the year. The Australian launch adds a new growth vector, and Brazil's traction is already encouraging. Investors will be watching for updates on user metrics, deposit growth, and product adoption in these new markets. Any positive commentary from management could ignite another rally. At the same time, the macro environment is providing support. Jerome Powell's remarks at Jackson Hole signaled that rate cuts may be on the horizon. That shift has already lifted growth and fintech stocks, and if bond yields continue to ease, the sector could see more inflows. Webull stands to benefit as a mid-cap fintech with strong growth, profitability, and a compelling story. So where does that leave us heading into the weekend? Webull stock at $14.67 represents stability after a period of big swings. It's consolidating gains while the fundamentals catch up with sentiment. For traders, the playbook is clear. Watch the $15.50 to $16 resistance zone. A break higher could trigger momentum buying. For long-term investors, the story is about growth, profitability, and global expansion. The big picture is this: Webull is no longer just a headline-driven momentum trade. It's a company proving it can grow revenues, sustain profits, and expand globally. That makes Thursday's modest gain more significant than it looks. It suggests investors are building conviction, and conviction is what fuels long-term rallies. So while Thursday may not have been a blockbuster session, it was another step forward in Webull's evolution. From strong Q2 earnings to crypto integration and international launches, the pieces are falling into place. The question now is not whether Webull can survive, but how far it can go. With the stock consolidating and sentiment improving, the setup remains bullish, but with the balance of understanding that execution will be the key.